Hi there, I'm Salma Ghafoor. I work for Rockwell Automation, Global Customer Innovation. And I'm here with my colleague Oliver Heyer, who's the Business Development Manager for Data and Application Platforms. And we're going to talk to you today about FactoryTalk DataMosaix. So, Oliver, I think the first thing I want to ask is, we're hearing a lot about DataOps. Now, I'm familiar with the term of DevOps, but DataOps is kind of like a new one for me. So can you explain a bit like what it means?
Yeah, absolutely. There is so much data that comes up in the industrial production environment. There's all kinds of time series, there's events, there's lots of different places that this data comes from. So we've got different kinds of data, different types of data created at different times during the equipment life cycle.
Sure.
And we've got to figure out, how do we integrate that data together? How do we contextualize that data? How do we put governance around that data? That's what DataOps is all about. How do we make these data relationships between each other?
Yeah.
How do we make the data trusted and useful so that we can actually start to gain insights from it? That's the goal of DataOps, is to start to treat data as a product, as a continuous investment, just like DevOps does for software development, but now for data.
I like that. That makes a lot of sense. And I guess we're talking there about like breaking down those silos that we have like in a typical like enterprise, where you have all those silos of data, you're bringing them all together.
Yeah.
Sweet. And I think it's probably pretty clear there where like why that is valuable to our customers, because as you said, it's like new insights that they can get. Is there any other kind of value in implementing DataOps?
Absolutely. You know, one of the things our customers struggle with is just knowing where to go get the data. And so we want to make the data more available, more meaningful, and more useful for them. That way they can drive value from it with those new insights, those new analytics. And so our goal here is to help integrate that data, put trust and governance around it, manage that data at scale in one data hub, a single source of truth. And IT's done this a bit with data lakes over the last few years.
That's actually a really good point, and I was thinking about that, of like, if a customer already has like an enterprise data lake, so they're taking all the data, putting it into a data lake, does that mean they're already doing DataOps?
They might be. So this is what's really fun, is data lakes are really easy to turn into data swamps unless you put good data ops processes around them. But an IT data ops practice may not be an industrial data ops practice. We've got different kinds of data. We've got lots more of the time series data especially that can really drive up cloud computing costs. We also have specific connectivity. An IT system's not going to know how to go get information from a flow meter on the shop floor. And so driving specific OT connectivity, contextualizing all that data against the physical assets that exist in the plants, that's a real superpower of industrial data ops, is we know everything ties back to something that we have or something we made. And then being able to build engineering tools into that are really focused on the people that are going to use industrial data ops. It might not be somebody who knows SQL. It might not be somebody who's familiar with advanced data ops tools. They need to know how to get access to that data on their own. So self-service is a key tenet of what we're building.
I like it. So it's kind of enabling like data for more like OT kind of personas for automation engineers as opposed to the IT side.
Absolutely.
Like it. That sounds fantastic. So, but I would have to say, it does sound like a lot of work though. Like I'm curious this sounds like a wonderful promise that you're talking about, but like what's the implementation effort behind it?
That's been the historical challenge, is it used to be a lot of implementation effort. When people wanted to try to organize or contextualize data or integrate it, the systems weren't there, the technology wasn't there. I'd like to say it used to be, you know, a smart OT person and a smart IT person locked in a room with donuts and pizza until they figured out how to match up every one of their time series and assets together. And that's not a scalable solution to a really hard problem that has a big scale. And so new technologies made this a lot easier to contextualize data at scale, to be able to govern data, and using the cloud as a key backbone here. These were technology enablers that all had to come into place before we could do this. And so our goal with our industrial data ops solution, as well as the industry solutions that we're building on top of that to provide value, is fast value. It's not just value with lots of services and implementation. So we're building standard, out-of-the-box applications that run as software as a service. This minimizes the IT footprint, this minimizes the setup and deployment time. We can very easily scale up new applications, contextualize data at scale with AI and ML tools to match entities together, and then be able to deliver that value even faster.
Well, that sounds wonderful and phenomenal. So hopefully you can see the value in this. I hope this was interesting, and please, if you want more information, check out the website.
Yeah.